Namaskar, good evening. You're watching Breaking Ground and I am Swati Joshi. As usual, first up, let's take a look at the top 5 developments, the big stories that we will focus on. Number 1, second round of talks between Meta officials and the government is scheduled for today. Meta representatives are in fact all set to meet Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. We'll also tell you all about the Tarun Tejpal case. Former Tehelka editor Tarun Tejpal has been sentenced to 10 years in jail. He invoked Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam and called himself a political victim. He says there's vendetta against him. And we have some important updates for you as far as sources are concerned. Sources are telling your channel that Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, is going to hold a key meeting on FCRA with minority community representatives. And the concerns as far as this bill, FCRA, will be addressed. Fears will be allayed. That's what we're given to understand about this key meeting. And then there's also another interaction, a special, interesting interaction between RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat and the young people, Gen Z, today as part of a special outreach initiative aimed at engaging the Gen Z on issues of nation building and social responsibility. We'll get you more updates also on how actor Dhanush has dropped another political hint. He speaks of Tamil pride and says, we must be proud of speaking Tamil. We'll get you all the reactions on that. First up, breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast. Now, this is about the round 2 of talks that we just told you about. Senior officials from Meta are scheduled to meet IT Minister to discuss concerns related to the platform's algorithm. This is what we're given to understand. So during the meeting, Meta representatives are expected to explain how its algorithms function and outline the platform's technical capabilities as well. Remember, in round 1, government made it absolutely clear to Meta that they will have to follow the law of the land. A stern message from the government to Meta representatives was given. Now it's round 2 of talks. The focus is going to be on solutions, on fixing accountability. Yesterday, remember, also an apology came in from Mark Zuckerberg along with an admission of lots of money being paid to boost a specific type of content to specific type of people. Let me go across to Sabyasachi, who's getting us more details on this breaking input. Sabyasachi, we're given to understand the focus is going to be on the algorithm, how the algorithm of the platform functions. Also, anytime now, I believe the meeting will start.
Well, Swati, the meeting has already started because a few minutes back we saw that the Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav had reached Rail Bhavan for the meeting, and the meeting has started. Now, what we can tell our sources is that this time around the meeting will be focused on the solution, because on the first round of meeting, Ashwini Vaishnav clearly has shown the Meta representatives the law of the land, the laws that are existing, and there has been a pointed question regarding the algorithm bias. So right now, the Meta representatives will explain the algorithm functioning of the Meta, and also they will be explaining about the technical capabilities of Meta. So these 2 points, Meta will be giving a detailed explanation to the Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. We had seen that earlier today the meeting was scheduled with the IT Secretary, but that meeting got cancelled as Union Minister is the last person. He would decide what will exactly happen, and from the sources we are learning that this meeting has begun, and very sternly, in fact, Ashwini Vaishnav yesterday also has put across his points to the Meta representative, and that is why we are seeing that Meta representative today as well in the national capital holding another round of meeting with the Union Minister, and the Union Minister himself has told Meta representative that if necessary they will be called tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or after that, until and unless they understand the law of the land or show 100% compliance with the existing rules. Back to you.
Absolutely. Like I said, yesterday came an apology, along with that an admission as well, Sabyasachi, that a lot of money was paid to promote and boost content for specific audience. And not just that particular admission. In fact, the focus is now on accountability. All of this after the government has made it absolutely clear that there's no safe harbor, there's no protection, no immunity, and one will have to comply and follow the law of the land. We also have Priyank getting us more details. Let's go across to him as well. This is a crucial meeting which is underway. Yesterday, after a stringent message from the government of India to Meta representatives, Priyank, and remember there was a deadline that was set and Mark Zuckerberg did offer an apology, but it does not end with that. It's now about fixing accountability.
And now the meeting has begun shortly. The minister reached here before time. He reached around 4:57. But before that, the Meta officials were already here, present at the office of the Information and Broadcasting Minister. We again tried to confront them regarding the kind of statement which has come up on their behalf, where Mark Zuckerberg has certainly apologized for not being an intermediary and the manner in which this tweaking was happening from their side. It is also important that for the next 3 days, what our government sources have been indicating, that a series of round of meeting will keep on happening, and the next agenda would be of WhatsApp, because the Meta also owns this particular company, which should also follow the law of the land, for which the Meta officials have been summoned once again at the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, where a crucial meeting has begun at the Minister's office.
Right. Priyank, as we speak, we're getting some breaking inputs. Let me quickly tell our viewers all about it. So in the latest, this is what we are picking up. According to sources, Meta's global team will remain in India for a few more days, and there are 3 to 4 additional meetings that are expected to take place. So today is round 2. Apart from this, there are 3 to 4 additional meetings that will take place. Upcoming round of discussions will also cover issues related to WhatsApp. Central agenda of these meetings is to assess whether Meta's platforms are complying with the laws of the land or not. So it's not just, let me go across Sabyasachi, it's not just about the removal of Prime Minister's video from Facebook. Okay, I think Priyank wants to come in. It's not just about removal of that particular video or about CSAM. It's also going to be about WhatsApp now, whether Meta's platforms are complying with the laws of the land. So 3-4 more meetings, Priyank?
Yes, certainly, Swati. There's much more breaking input which we are getting for our viewers, exclusive for the network of Times Now, where the Meta platform has been summoned because they will be submitting a proper presentation before the minister, and the aim is to empower law and the benefit for the society. The platform have also responsibility towards the society and the law, like the institution they have to follow. Meta has already given a public statement, which we know yesterday, and the technical details will be discussed today. So that is an important breaking input which we are getting, that the technical details will be submitted before the ministers today, along with the logs of the algorithm which the Meta has prepared. Not thinking of the directions of the Article 19, and which is of freedom of speech, and improve the quality of the manner in which this deepfake has not been spotted by Meta. So there have been multiple things which is under the radar of the government, on the agenda of the government, for which Meta officials have been summoned, and the Meta is giving a detailed presentation before the minister here in the national capital. Swati, back to you.
Right. Priyank, earlier you also sent us a ground report. Let's quickly take a look at that.
Meta team has reached to meet the minister himself, and there you can see the visuals of the Meta team officials reaching here at the Rail Bhavan. This is a crucial meeting which is expected to begin shortly, where the Meta officials have certainly maintained that they have been apology which has come up from Zuckerberg, but certainly the situation is such that railbound officials have not been denied allowing the media to be present here after the Meta has faced this kind of embarrassment. Meta team has reached to meet the minister himself, and there you can see the visuals of the Meta team officials reaching here at the Rail Bhavan. This is a crucial meeting which is expected to begin shortly, where the Meta officials have certainly maintained that they have been apology which has come up.
All right, so that particular meeting has begun. That was a ground report that was filed by Priyank earlier when the Meta team arrived for the meeting. Now, the centre is turning up the heat on Meta. A day after the social media giant apologized for the temporary removal of Prime Minister Modi's Facebook video, the government has called the company back to the table for a second round of talks today. Sources say the discussions will focus on platform accountability, compliance with Indian laws, and the steps Meta has taken after admitting its error. Even as Meta has expressed regret, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has made it clear that the government will continue to hold platform accountable. Yesterday, he said, Meta officials, and I quote, "I will call you tomorrow, I will call you the day after tomorrow, and I will call you the day after that. I will keep calling you until you understand the law of the land and how it works." And we're given to understand there are additional meetings that are going to take place. We just told you about that. So while the government maintains that Meta must be held accountable, the opposition has turned its guns on the centre, accusing it of arm twisting the social media giant. Let's listen into the political reactions.
After the Prime Minister's video was taken down, I think the government is quite serious about various issues connected to social media platform. But if the government tries to become more strict with the regulations, then the basic character of social media will change, which is a people's platform. In the world's largest democracy, I think the social media platform is a very essential component. Its contribution should not be reduced based on these regulations.
इस तरीके से सरकार लगातार मेटा से जवाब मांग रही है, माफी मांगने को कह रही है कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर की वीडियो क्यों हटाई गई, उस पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
कुछ भी नहीं कहना चाहूंगा। प्रधानमंत्री जी का नया शौक है, सरकार उसको पूरा कराने की कोशिश कर रही है।
लेकिन क्या सही है सर इस तरीके से?
नहीं कह तो रहा मैं, उनका नया शौक है, पूरा करें।
ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच सर। सो दैट वाज मिस्टर इमरान मसूद स्पीकिंग इन टाइम्स नाउ विद वीडियो जर्नलिस्ट कार्तिक। दिस इज न्यामका सिंह रिपोर्टिंग फॉर टाइम्स प्रेस।
All right, we have more breaking inputs on the broadcast. Government tightens deepfake rules. IT rules now mandate AI content labels. It's unlawful content to be removed in 3 hours. The platforms must tag all AI-generated content, and grievance redressal time has been cut to 36 hours now. Government rules cover deepfakes, child abuse, non-compliant platforms to lose legal shield. Let me in fact go across to Sabyasachi to help us understand this change that has been made. Sabyasachi, so the government has made the rules even more stricter. The deadline has been cut to 36 hours, and most importantly, that there has to be the AI label, which has been made mandatory now.
Well, that's right, Swati. It's a very big step that has been taken by the government, because earlier also we have seen that how the government was extremely serious in putting in more regulations as far as the AI-generated content is concerned. Because previously also the government has held several rounds of meeting with all the stakeholders, and in those meetings they had pointed out that the AI label is extremely important to identify who actually did it, whether it was Meta or whether it was Grok or other social media platforms. Now, the government had earlier stated that the removal of deepfakes or AI-generated videos could be of 36 hours. But now the government has reduced the time to 3 hours, and they have made it mandatory. In fact, the punishment also have increased. So people who are openly creating AI-generated videos or sharing deepfake videos, they will be held accountable going forward. Now, it's a very big step as far as the cybersecurity is concerned, because a lot of the people, in fact, have been looking at the ministry and also the government of India to make some regulations which would control the cyber threat that has been continuously increasing. And the government, in fact, long back have been talking of bringing AI regulations in the country, and they believe that the set of rules has to be equal for all the social media platforms that are operating in the country. Swati.
Right, Sabyasachi, do stay on with us. Let me also, in fact, tell our viewers about the timeline of this controversy. How did it all start, and what are we looking at? So, on 28th of July 2026, Prime Minister's video was briefly unavailable on Facebook. Meta has acknowledged that particular error, and the video was restored. Now, on the 3rd of August, after that, 3rd of August, parliamentary panel met Meta and ex-officials. 5th of August, Meta was given a 3-day ultimatum for an apology, and then came reports that Mark Zuckerberg has offered an apology to the government. Meta, in fact, confirmed that yes, the apology has been given over the Prime Minister's video as well. BJP has, however, called this a victory for India's laws, constitution and parliament, saying that it demonstrates the strength of the Prime Minister, who leads 140 crore people, that anyone wishing to do business in India must abide by Indian law.
हम लोग इस बात के बहुत खुश है कि उन्होंने अपनी गलतियां मानी है, और आगे चलकर भी जो है, जो हमारे नेशनल सिक्योरिटी को जिस तरह से खतरा होता जा रहा है इन आतंकी शक्तियों से, उससे भी हमें जो है राहत मिलने की ऐसी अपेक्षा हम करते हैं।
ये जो जीत है, ये भारत के कानून की जीत है, ये जीत भारत के संविधान की है, ये जीत भारत के पार्लियामेंट की है, और 140 करोड़ लोगों का नेतृत्व करने वाले माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की यह ताकत दिखाता है कि भारत में जिसको भी व्यापार करना है उसको भारत का कानून मानना पड़ेगा।
मेटा के कारण जो हुआ ये पूरी दुनिया ने देखा है। मेटा इस से भाग नहीं सकता और मुझे तो लगता है मेटा और राहुल गांधी जैसे लोगों का साठगांठ है। जब जब बाहर से आते हैं ऐसी घटना घटती है और मेटा को सफाई देना पड़ेगा। क्या कारण है, ऐसी घटना क्यों घटती है?
Right, so those were reactions as far as this entire controversy is concerned. Let's move on now. Let's shift our focus to the other big story that we are tracking. Former Tehelka editor-in-chief Tarun Tejpal has been sentenced to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment by the Bombay High Court in the 2013 sexual assault case involving a junior colleague. The High Court today overturned the acquittal order passed by the trial court in 2021 and convicted Tejpal of sexually assaulting the woman inside a hotel elevator during the Tehelka Think Fest event in Goa in November 2013. While pronouncing the sentence, the court granted Tejpal 2 weeks' time to surrender. During the sentencing hearing, Tejpal sought leniency from the court, citing his age and family circumstances. The 62-year-old told the court that he has a wife and requested a compassionate view while deciding the punishment. After the verdict, Tejpal continued to maintain his innocence. He, in fact, also claimed that he is a victim of politics, and this is vendetta against him, and he said he would challenge the High Court order in the top court. And after being sentenced to 10 years in prison by the Bombay High Court, Tarun Tejpal has, in fact, claimed that he has been falsely implicated for the past 12 years and insisted that there was enough material on record for him to have been acquitted. Drawing a comparison with other high-profile cases, Tejpal referred to Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, saying people should ask why they continue to remain in jail.
अभी जब हम सुन लेंगे उसके बाद हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे, 100% जाएंगे। हमको कोई डाउट नहीं है। हम 13 साल से एक पॉलिटिकल वेंडाटा के पीछे, तहलका के काम की वजह से पीछे मेरे पीछे पड़े हुए हैं। तो हम लोगों ने इस ट्रायल कोर्ट में 7.5 साल पूरा केस लड़के हम लोग अक्विट हुए। जो इनके साथ लोग हैं उनको तो ये सब अक्विट कर देते हैं। जिन्होंने इनके अगेंस्ट कभी भी पत्रकारिता की हो या कुछ भी कहा हो, आपको पता है उमर खालिद जेल में बैठा है 6 साल से, आपको पता है शर्जील इमाम बैठा है, आपको पता है सुरेंद्र गैडलिंग बैठा है जेल में अलग अलग केसों में। भाई इतने नहीं है, कई दर्जनों लोग हैं। तो मैं भी उनमें से एक हूँ। ये बात सही है, तहलका ने पत्रकारिता की और कुछ ऐसी पत्रकारिता भी की जिससे वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट, पॉलिटिकल इंटरेस्ट को कोई नुकसान होगा। अब उसके पीछे ये लोग बदला लेने के भाव से 13 साल से हमारे पीछे पड़े हैं। मेरे को पूरा फेथ है कि इतनी बड़ी जुडिशरी में ऐसे जज हैं जो सच देखेंगे और सच एकदम से सामने आएगा।
So let's now break down the details of what the Bombay High Court said, and you just heard that statement that came in from Tarun Tejpal. Bombay High Court said, and I quote, victim made truthful statements. Tarun Tejpal claims that he is a victim of political vendetta. Bombay High Court said prosecution established the case. Tarun Tejpal said he was targeted like Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam. Bombay High Court said case established beyond doubt. Tarun Tejpal's argument, of course, outside the court, that he was hounded for 13 years. Trial court erred in acquitting him. That was what the Bombay High Court said. And Tarun Tejpal claims that he is targeted for the kind of journalism he did. Bombay High Court also said appreciation of evidence is perverse. Tarun Tejpal says, I should have been exonerated. This is what he said after, of course, the verdict came in. But the High Court's observation while setting aside the trial court's verdict also included that trial court discredited the victim's testimony and allowed humiliating cross-examination. As far as Tarun Tejpal is concerned, he says that this government only targets its critics. He says this is vendetta politics against him. Times Now has, in fact, accessed the order copy in the Tarun Tejpal conviction case. The Bombay High Court, in its detailed order, has come down heavily on the trial court's acquittal order. The High Court has observed that the trial court was contrary to evidence and said the lower court had erred factually while assessing the case. The court further said there was no hesitation in believing the victim's testimony and held that her statement inspired confidence. So what makes today's verdict even more significant is that it completely reverses the conclusions that were drawn by the Goa trial court 5 years ago in 2021. The trial court acquitted Tarun Tejpal after holding that the prosecution had failed to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. The judgment had also made a series of observations about the complainant's conduct, her messages, and the lack of corroborative evidence. It was these findings that the Goa government challenged in appeal, and which the Bombay High Court has now set aside. So to understand the significance of today's verdict, you have to go back to 2013. What started as an allegation during the Tehelka Think Fest in Goa soon turned into one of the country's most high-profile sexual assault cases. There was an FIR, an arrest, a lengthy trial, bail, an acquittal, appeal by the Goa government against that acquittal, and now today there is conviction. The quantum of sentence has also been pronounced. Let's break down the details. Here's the 13-year timeline of the Tarun Tejpal case. So, in November 2013, Tarun Tejpal was accused of sexual assault. November 23rd, 2013, FIR was filed against him. 30th November 2013, Tarun Tejpal was placed under arrest. February 2014, a charge sheet was filed. In July 2014, the Supreme Court granted bail to Tarun Tejpal. September 2017 is when the trial commenced. May 2021, Goa court acquitted Tarun Tejpal. May 2021, Goa government challenged that particular acquittal of the trial court, and now today, August 2026, Tarun Tejpal has been convicted. The quantum of sentence has been pronounced. He is facing 10 years jail. After Tarun Tejpal's conviction, Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant also hailed the verdict. My colleague Arunil spoke to him. Listen in.
आज एक लैंडमार्क जजमेंट आया है। गोवा बेंच ऑफ बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ने कन्विक्ट किया है तरुण तेजपाल को। 2021 में उनको अक्विट किया गया था, बट अभी उन्हें कन्विक्ट किया गया है। तो एक ये मेजर विक्ट्री है जो रेप सर्वाइवर के लिए। ये एक बूस्ट भी है गोवा सरकार के लिए, क्योंकि गोवा गवर्नमेंट ने इसको चैलेंज किया था अक्विटल को।
सबसे पहले मैं कहूंगा कि ये न्याय की जीत है। ये अपराध गोवा के इस धरती पे हुआ था, इसलिए दोषी को सजा तक पहुंचाना गोवा सरकार का काम था। मैं उस युवती की इस साहस और दृढ़ता को भी नमन करता हूं, क्योंकि कंटिन्यूअसली 13-14 साल इस केस में हिम्मत से वो डटी रही है। मैं आज हमारे गोवा पुलिस और डायरेक्टर ऑफ प्रोसिक्यूशन, इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, इसलिए उनका भी मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं। गोवा सरकार के लिए भी एक चुनौती थी, नीचे वाले कोर्ट ने उसको राहत दी थी, लेकिन हमने अपील किया हाई कोर्ट में, और हाई कोर्ट से आज जो 13-14 साल के बाद जो निकाल आया, इससे साबित हुआ कि महिलाओं की सुरक्षा के लिए, सम्मान के लिए, उनकी दृढ़ता के लिए गोवा सरकार हमेशा के लिए महिलाओं के सम्मान में डटी रही है। और मैं तो कहता हूँ कि जो ये फिर से न्याय की जीत है, और ही हैज कन्विक्टेड। That is a big thing for the government of Goa.
Mr. Sawant, but in 2021 में जब भी अक्विटल किया गया था तो एक रॉन्ग प्रेसिडेंस भी सेट हुआ था, क्योंकि जो विक्टिम है, जो सर्वाइवर है, रेप सर्वाइवर, उनपे ही प्रश्न उठाया गया था वकील के द्वारा भी, जो पब्लिक रिकॉर्ड्स में लाया गया था कि उनका बिहेवियर कैसा था, क्या था। तो आपको लगता है कि इस कन्विक्शन के बाद वो जो गलती हुई थी उसको भी सुधारा गया है?
मैं तो बस यही कहूंगा, क्योंकि आखिर में गोवा सरकार उनको न्याय दिलाने में सफल रही है। बस ये कहूंगा, क्योंकि कंटिन्यूसली हमारी कोशिश यही थी, क्योंकि एक रेप सर्वाइवर को न्याय दिलाना हमारा काम है।
शुक्रिया टाइम्स नाउ से बात करने के लिए मिस्टर सावंत। थैंक यू फॉर स्पीकिंग विद अस।
Let me also go across to my colleague Bhavtosh. Bhavtosh, it's not just about the conviction today and the quantum of sentence. It's also about what the High Court has said while setting aside that order of acquittal of trial court. And it has gone into details that the evidence was not considered. And, the cross-examination happened in a way as if, the victim was the accused and that her personal life was dissected. There was literally a character assassination that happened. The Bombay High Court, point by point, in fact, has questioned the basis of that order.
Yes, Swati, in fact, Tushar Mehta, who was arguing on behalf of the state government, said that it was virtually an embarrassment for the victim. Her character was assassinated. There were pointed questions about her personal life, also her views about certain things, and she was virtually character assassination happened. She, in fact, stood steadfast, and she also reiterated her statement, not only what she said before the police, but also the statement that she made before the judicial magistrate. But despite that, both the defense counsel as well as trial court made certain remarks. What the trial court said, that her behavior after the sexual assault was not normative to any person who has suffered a sexual assault. Now, the High Court in its order has said that this case was actually that of sexual assault that happens in workplace, and the court should, in fact, has now set aside the trial court order, making workplace environment safe so that women can work. Now, these are very strong observations. Remember, Tarun Tejpal was an editor of a magazine who was one of the most celebrated editors, and the very fact that in 2020 he was virtually not only acquitted, but also the victim character assassination happened.
Well, the High Court has also highlighted the letters of apology that he wrote, and highlighted how there was an error clearly in judgment while giving that particular order of acquittal. Thank you very much, Bhagwat, for getting us the details. We also have some breaking inputs coming in. Tarun Tejpal has been convicted, has been sentenced 10 years in jail, and there's a political war that has begun over the issue. BJP's Pradeep Bhandari has now questioned Congress's silence. BJP says that the Congress ecosystem backed Tarun Tejpal, and he's also highlighting what Digvijay Singh said back then. According to Pradeep Bhandari, Congress's Digvijay Singh had defended Mr. Tarun Tejpal. So he's asking today the Congress leaders who backed Tarun Tejpal back then when he was acquitted by the trial court, why are they silent? Why are they not saying anything today when he has been convicted by the Bombay High Court and has been sentenced to 10 years in jail? So political war now has begun. Let's see if the Congress party responds to the questions that are being raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party. The big question now, will the bill lead to another confrontation between the government and the opposition when it reaches Parliament? Because we know the stand that the opposition has taken when it was first introduced in March. The opposition said this is going to impact the rights of the minority communities. The political battle over FCRA has already begun. But even before its introduction, the proposed amendments have triggered a political battle. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has launched a blistering attack on the proposed legislation, calling it a dangerous escalation in the centralization of executive power. He says the bill fundamentally rewrites the relationship between the state and civil society. Shashi Tharoor has also described the proposed FCRA framework as profoundly unjust, alleging it is aimed at tightening government control over institutions and independent voices. And he's also urged resistance to the proposed amendments, accusing the centre of undermining civil society. Let's listen to the other reactions that we are getting as well.
जो वर्तमान सरकार है वो FCRA अमेंडमेंट अपने हिसाब से करने की कोशिश कर रही है। FCRA का जो पैसा आता है, एक एक पैसा सरकार और गृह मंत्रालय के नज़र और जानकारी में होता है। वो पैसा कहीं न कहीं भारत के डेवलपमेंट में लगता है, वो किसी भी कम्युनिटी के डेवलपमेंट में लग रहा हो। अल्टीमेटली तो वो इंडिया का डेवलपमेंट है, चाहे वो क्रिश्चियन कम्युनिटी का हो रहा हो, माइनॉरिटी कम्युनिटी का हो रहा, लेकिन इन्हें लगता है कि चूंकि वो लोग इनके आइडियोलॉजी से कंसर्न नहीं है, सहमत नहीं है, इसलिए उन्हें पैसा नहीं मिलना चाहिए।
इनको शर्म आनी चाहिए, ये अनाउंस करें कि जितने दिन सदन हम नहीं चलने दिए हैं उसका पैसा नहीं लूंगा। ये चाहते हैं कि देश में अराजकता रहे, FCR बिल नहीं आए।
So let's break down the details of what the government says. Government talks about proposed changes, and according to the government, it's aimed at bringing greater transparency and accountability when it comes to foreign funding. But then you have opposition, the NGOs and several civil society organizations who do not agree with it, who argue that the amendments could hand the centre sweeping powers over organizations that receive foreign contributions. The bill seeks to amend FCRA Act, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, the law that governs how NGOs, charitable trusts religious institutions and other associations receive and utilize foreign donations in India. So what are the contentious issues? Let me take you through them one by one. Appointment of the designated authority. Why? Designated authority can take over, manage or dispose of assets. The assets that we are talking about here are those that are created using the foreign funding, created from foreign fund. What is the condition? The condition is that the NGO's registration is cancelled, surrendered or not renewed, then the designated authority can take control. And what next? The authority will then have powers of a civil court. Designated authority can order transfer to government, order of that asset to be transferred to government, or also can take a decision over sale of the assets. That's where the problem is as far as the opposition is concerned. We have some breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast. We're given to understand that the Chief Minister of Mizoram reached out to Home Minister Amit Shah and raised concerns as far as the FCRA bill is concerned, and has also submitted a memorandum on FCRA. Now, Mizoram Chief Minister and church bodies have written to Union Home Minister Amit Shah on the FCRA amendment bill, a memo on FCRA amendment bill rules 2026, seeking prospective and not retrospective law. Now, we're given to understand that the Chief Minister has also flagged risk to schools, to hospitals and welfare organizations. Let's go across to Mohit, who's getting us more details. Mohit, we're also given to understand that after these concerns were raised by the Mizoram Chief Minister and other church bodies over there, they received assurance from the Union Home Minister Amit Shah?
Delegation led by the Chief Minister of Mizoram, along with the Mizoram Quorum Committee, Council of Churches in Mizoram, met Home Minister Amit Shah, and Mizoram Chief Minister has spoken to the media about it. Now, you see, various Christian organizations, Swati, have certain apprehension, and these apprehensions they have addressed to the Home Minister Amit Shah in a joint memorandum. They basically say that there should be prospective application and protection of vested right in the FCRA bill, because given the fact that how the government is committed to bringing FCRA bill maybe tomorrow or the next week, we see that how exactly this particular memorandum is being submitted. Now, there are the concerns of the various church bodies in Mizoram. They have been conveyed to the Home Minister in this particular meeting. Also, there are certain pointers in this like simplification and streamlining of compliance process, classification of violation and protection of locally funded assets, and also they speak about definition or omission or about that how exactly there has to be differentiation between the minor problems, minor issues, and the larger problems that need to be addressed. The government has been saying this, that all the concerns of the church bodies, they will be addressed in this meeting. Not just this body from Mizoram, all India church bodies are also likely to meet Home Minister Amit Shah regarding this, because you see the government has clearly stated that legal aid that is being provided to the NGOs, which has all the record, which are being used for various purposes, be it educational purposes or the charity purposes, they have no issues. But then when it comes to funding anti-India activities, when it comes to funding certain activities which goes against interest of the country, that would be monitored. There will be a constitution under this new bill of a body. Now, suppose if an NGO does not get their FCRA license renewed, or their FCRA license gets submitted, all the assets of that particular NGO or that trust will go to this particular body, which will oversee that, and that is where the apprehensions are being made. The church body is also saying
yes, absolutely. That's the bone of contention, isn't it? The powers given to this designated authority. Although the government does cite that this will happen only if the registration is cancelled, it's suspended, or if it's not renewed. Only then a decision can be taken by the designated authority. But the opposition powers have been given to the designated authority, and their fear is that through this particular loophole, that the NGO's registration has not been renewed or cancelled, the government will take over their assets. Mohit.
Well, yes, in fact, Swati, and that has been the concern of various opposition parties too. That if a body is being formed, then whether that body will act as retrospectively, or what exactly would be the powers given to it. Because, as you rightly pointed out, as this is the bone of contention, given the fact that how if there is an issue with the renewal of the license, if there isn't any minor issue with the renewal of the license, then these church bodies say that has to be identified. There has to be a mechanism in place that will be identified. Not just that all the assets of the trust should be transferred to that particular body. Now, in the conclusion, Swati, the one important point that this memorandum has, which was being led by the delegation, which was being led by Mizoram CM, is that the government of Mizoram, together with the church leadership and the civil society, remains fully committed to upholding the sovereignty and constitutional values of India. But at the same time, they say they urge Ministry of Home Affairs to incorporate all these clarification and the safeguard that they have given in the FCRA framework, and doing so that the law remains fair.
In fact, Mohit, let's in fact take a look at the claims that have been made and how the government has tried to allay concerns. On one hand, of course, the meeting between Home Minister Amit Shah, the Mizoram Chief Minister, and other representatives of the church bodies has happened. The Home Minister has given assurance. But these are the claims that have been made. So FCRA is aimed at NGOs and religious organizations. The government says that it only regulates foreign funding across sectors. Claim number 2 is that India is an exception in such laws. Government says such laws exist in other countries as well. For example, US, UK, Australia and Canada. There's another claim that rules are targeting a particular religion and a particular community. Government says that the rules apply to everyone regardless of their religion. Another claim is that the government can seize an NGO's assets. The government says vesting is initially provisional. Orders of authority are subject to revision. That's not going to be the final order. It is subject to revision. Another claim, cancellation of registration is equal to there's something wrong. Government says that there are a lot of cancellations, many cancellations and non-renewals are administrative, and courts are fully empowered to review any cancellation. In case a cancellation has happened because of some administrative issue, the courts can take a decision on that. Let's move on now. Let's shift our focus to the other important, crucial story that we are tracking. Now, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat is interacting with India's Generation Z in Mumbai, the maximum city, and the political temperature is already rising. At a time when Gen Z is increasingly shaping the country's political discourse, Mohan Bhagwat's outreach to young Indians has triggered a sharp political debate, with parties scrambling to respond even before the interaction begins. Let's first give you a sense of the scale of this unprecedented outreach. So RSS interaction with Generation Z in Mumbai is drawing around 2,000 students between the age of 15 and 19, representing more than 100 cities from across the country. It's one of the organization's biggest engagements with young Indians, underscoring the growing importance of Gen Z in shaping the nation's future. RSS Chief's outreach to Generation Z has also triggered a sharp political response. Opposition parties have questioned both the timing and the intent of this interaction. While the Shiv Sena UBT has asked why Mohan Bhagwat did not visit the students who were protesting at Jantar Mantar and dismissed the event as an interaction with Sangh's own supporters, the VBA has questioned whether RSS is attempting to shape or regiment society through such outreach.
This is a Model United Nations event. It's by Ayman. Rishabh has been doing this for the last, almost 15 years now. These are school children who are coming to participate in Model United Nations, and someone is coming as a chief guest, as simple as that. But if someone really wanted to interact with Gen Z, they should have gone to Jantar Mantar. See the speeches in the parliament, some of them made it so cringe by using Gen Z lingo. It's not new language they're wanting you to learn. They want you to learn courage and to be able to ask questions and hold government to accountability.
मैं मानता हूं कि ये उनके लिए अजूबा होगा जो कि संवादहीनता पर विश्वास करते हैं। आरएसएस के लोग तो संवाद करने पर विश्वास करते हैं और लगातार समाज के सभी वर्गों के साथ सभी मुद्दों पर वो संवाद करते रहे। और जो जेन जी तो अभी चर्चा आई है, चाहे युवा हैं, चाहे महिलाएं हैं, चाहे नौजवान हैं, चाहे किसान हैं और समाज के कोई भी वर्ग हो, उनके साथ संपर्क, संवाद और समन्वय आरएसएस का जो है वो संकल्प रहा है। और उसी का जो है वो जो अभी जेन जी का जो आप देख रहे हैं संवाद का कार्यक्रम मोहन भागवत जी का वो है।
बीजेपी हो या आरएसएस, यूथ को छोड़ दो यार। यूथ का अपना जिंदगी है, अपनी लाइफ है, उसको धर्म से मत तौलिए आप। युवाओं में धर्म नहीं होता, छात्राओं में धर्म नहीं होता। एक थाली में खाते हैं, एक थाली में पीते हैं, एक थाली में एक गाड़ी में घूमते हैं, एक मस्ती करते हैं। तो इसको मोहन भागवत जी से मैं आग्रह करूंगा कि इन लोगों को छोड़ दो आप।
Now, we're given to understand that even before the interaction begins, the buzz is spilling out onto the streets of Mumbai. Anonymous banners have appeared across the city, carrying subtle yet thought-provoking messages aimed at Gen Z. No organization has claimed responsibility for the campaign, but the messaging is unmistakable, calling for a balance between standing with students, supporting the government, and putting the nation first.
RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat will be in Mumbai today, and there will be a conference with Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Before that, there are posters put up all over in Mumbai by anonymous people. Right now we are at Dadar near the Siddhivinayak temple, and over here there is a poster which has been put up which have written that मी विद्याचा पाठी आहे, मी भारत सरकारचा सम्मान करतो. It means that I am with student also, and I also with the government of India. In this poster there are different type of slogans which has been written over here. Nation first has also been written, and this entire conference will be very much important today as this event will commemorate India's international movement to unite nation 15th anniversary with the irregular ceremony of its annual championship conference, bringing together over 2000 high school students from over 100 cities across India. Now what RSS is trying to do is gather all the Gen Zs on and Gen Alpha on one stage, and this type of posters which has been put up all over in Mumbai has many questions which has to be answered by Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS.
Well, CJP founder Abhijit Deepfake, however, has welcomed the move, calling it a case of better late than never. And speaking to the media, Mr. Deepfake said Gen Z had already compelled the Prime Minister to post midnight videos on social media, and now even RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat is reaching out to the country's youth.
युवाओं ने फोर्स करा है, जहां पर नरेंद्र मोदी को भी रात के 11-11 बजे जाकर इंस्टाग्राम पर रील डालनी पड़ रही है। अब मोहन भागवत का भी जेनजी से बात करने का मन कर रहा है, तो देर से ही क्यों ना हो, लेकिन इन लोगों को अब समझ में आते हो कि जेनजी को इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते, डिसमिस नहीं कर सकते, बात करनी पड़ेगी, और बात करेंगे तो ही अच्छा है, क्योंकि ये लोग देश का भविष्य है। लेकिन इसके बाद में मैं ये कहूंगा कि अगर जेनजी चेहरे होंगे, यंग चेहरे होंगे, तो ज्यादा बेटर होगा। आप 70-80 साल के लोग बात करेंगे तो अच्छी बात है, आप बात करना चाहते हो, लेकिन उससे जेनजी को क्या मिलेगा? जेनजी को जो चाहिए वो है यंग रिप्रेजेंटेशन।
And with that, we're slipping into a very short break. We have a lot more lined up on the other side as well. Stay on with us.
घर में नया काम करवाया है, पढ़ी लिखी स्मार्ट बहू जो आई है।
मम्मी जी, स्मार्ट तो आप हैं। घर में 2-2 लक्ष्मी एक साथ ले आई हैं।
2-2 लक्ष्मी?
एक घर में, एक वहाँ ऊपर।
PM सूर्य घर।